Welcome to the Green Wasp Removal YouTube channel. In this episode, we respond to an urgent call from a homeowner who had German Yellowjackets entering her living room through an adjacent storage closet where they had chewed away the drywall in the ceiling where they had established a very active nest. We responded immediately with the Manchester University Wasp Team, and our inspection found that the wasps were entering the building from the back porch soffit located right behind the closet wall. So the first thing we did was temporarily cover the closet ceiling with tape to block the wasps from entering the living space of the house. Then we started reducing the nest population by collecting the flying forager wasps from the outside of the building at the entry point and flash freezing them in dry ice to preserve their venom for Venom Immunotherapy. It's important when you have wasps entering a building that you don't close it up from the outside first. You always close it from the inside first to prevent wasps from coming in, and you collect as many as possible that are coming and going from the outside of the building. Then when you finally start the ceiling demolition to remove the nest, as you see here, you don't have to deal with thousands of flying wasps. Most of them are already collected. So we ended up closing ourselves in the closet with the wasps, and that way if any did come out, we could just simply vacuum them up from a small closet space. We didn't have to chase them around the house. And that's always the best way to do it. You want to work in a closed environment, and we have full respirator masks. That way we don't have to deal with dust or any of the debris coming out of the ceiling. And we just started going to work on that ceiling a little bit at a time. You see us using a multi-tool, which is a very surgical tool. This allows us to remove only the material we have to get to the nest with minimal demolition damage to the building. Eventually we found the queen, which you see here, and we got her captured. So we knew this nest was no longer going to be a problem. Now it was just a matter of taking the rest of the brood comb out of the ceiling as cleanly and efficiently as possible and as thoroughly as possible. And while we're working on the ceiling, removing the nest, we also have vacuums running out on the porch where the entrance is for this nest. So the idea here is to allow any wasps that want to flee to get out of the building, and that's where they get collected by the vacuum. And any that are still out foraging and trying to get back into the nest are also being collected from outside the building. If you hit the entry point hard with a vacuum while you do the removal, you're getting them from both sides. By the end of the removal, we had the queen captured, we had all the wasps captured, and we had the entire brood comb out. We then take the brood comb back to our vespiary, and we put it into the Germanica box. This is a Vespula Germanica incubation box where we put several different nests throughout the season to incubate. They're all the same species, so what they do is blend all their nests into one big super nest, and you can collect from that incubation box entry point whenever you want to collect them. Now let's take you back to September 14th, 2025, when we started the initial inspection on this property, and we'll take you through the entire job. As always, thanks for riding along with us. If you enjoy the show, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment to let us know you're there. Okay, good.
Me too. They're inside.
Okay.
We built this house 36 years ago, and this is the first time.
That's amazing. 36 years without wasps. That's amazing.
And it was like,
most people have them a lot more often than that.
oh, scary.
It's September 14th, 2025. We are in a private residence here today, and they have German Yellowjackets, and they're chewing their way through the ceiling here, and we're going to have to close that up. So we're going to tape that today. All right, so we're up in a closet here, and as you can see, the wasps have chewed a hole or two here in the drywall. And because of that, they're getting wasps coming down into the living space. And that's the issue here is, you can't allow that to happen. And they like these lights, so they're coming to the light. So we're going to tape this off for now. This is where they're coming in. This whole part of the drywall is down to the paint. There's nothing there holding it in. It's all very soft in here, all the way back to the wall. And over here is a little more solid, but this whole section right here is completely chewed away. So there's nothing holding it there but a layer of paint, really. So we're gonna tape over all of that for now, just to support it a little bit. First bottle from this collection, it's good collections today. So we're going to go ahead and set up a second bottle and freeze these up while we roll to the next one. Just freezing our German Yellowjackets. Preserve their venom for Venom Immunotherapy. And then we'll swing back in about an hour and do the same thing with the next bottle. Here's some paper. All right, September 15th, 2025. We're back in the same closet we inspected the other day, and we're going to remove some of this ceiling where the wasps have chewed through the drywall to the point where all that's left is a layer of paint, very soft up in here. So we're going to cut away some of that today and see if we can find a nest. As you do these removals, you're always looking for the queen. It's the prize of that nest, and it keeps it from rebuilding. So here she is. When you have the queen captured with the rest of the nest has a better chance of survival when we bring it back to the incubation boxes in the vespiary. And then we can collect on it many more times if the nest just continues to operate normally. And this nest was packed with pupae, larvae, and eggs, so we wanted it to incubate really well if we could. Once the removal was complete and we had everything out, now it was time to do some cleanup and follow-up. It's a dusty and noisy environment, so you see we have a full-face respirator to protect our lungs from any dust and debris. We have hearing protection on to protect our ears from the noise of the vacuums. And now we're just going up into the ceiling underneath the insulation and inspecting all of the crevices around where the nest was to make sure we didn't miss any type of nest material and to make sure there's no more wasps. Anything we could find, we would take out. But that inspection, that follow-up is very important because there are times where if you fail to follow up, you can easily miss an extra brood comb or you can easily miss another cluster of wasps that will just bother the client. Fortunately for the client, this nest was really well contained inside only one bay of the ceiling rafters, so it ended up being relatively easy to get that out. Some wasp nests are just spread out all over the place, and it's a little more complex and you have to remove a lot more material, but in this case it was all pretty condensed into one space.
September 15th, 2025. We're here at the Vespiary, and this is a Vespula germanica incubation box. And we have a nest here today that we just pulled out of the closet ceiling of a resident who called us for help. She had wasps in her house. And since they are the same species as what's in the box, we're going to add them to this incubation box. There's already two nests. There's a big one here on this side and there's a smaller one here on this side we just put in yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, but we're going to put the third one in now. So this one's in the middle of rebuilding, getting reestablished. So what we're going to do is just set this one here in the center. That one's still quite busy. Because we have our queen and she's still alive and kicking, we're going to put her right back on her nest, right here, and let her walk back in there. Give them some of their paper. And the rest of this is just debris that they won't need, but they can reuse some of that paper. Alright, so now we've got one big relocation that is doing just great. And we've got two brand new relocations that hopefully still have time to rebuild like these guys did, so we'll see.